gun is that one in the grass?
A cannon.
A cannon, that's a gun. And the English call those great guns. Why would you think they would call it a great gun? It's big. It's a big gun. So when you look at that gun over there and you think about it, that's a great gun, and Brian here has got an almost great gun. And so if you think about it, he'll explain why that's a pretty fair musket he's got there. Remember, there's lots of guns, but that's a musket.
Well, this is what the rest of the world called a matchlock musket back in the 1600s. It had been in use for a couple hundred years at the time. It was fairly standard for most of the world. This is a Spanish style. The other one that he was talking about, see that one sitting on the lid? This is a pretty standard matchlock musket for the time. It's called a matchlock because if you imagine this is burning on the end, it's a burning piece of match. That's actually what fires off the musket. Whenever you're ready to shoot it, what happens is the match is placed right here at the serpent. See if the snake's in. And when you're ready to shoot it, you open up the lock, the match lock, and then it's depressed. So what happens is this little valley is filled with gunpowder, and it lights it off and sets it off from here. And everything else that you're shooting, which includes a pretty hefty sized little musket ball, which I can see how heavy it is. With this is called a scouring stick. And it's packed in nice and tight by the musketeer, and when you shoot, this comes flying out, about 900 feet per second, which is slow for now, in modern time. But then, you can imagine the kind of damage it would do. You guys want to see how heavy that is? And that's a small musket ball for the time period. Here in Virginia, that's what they like, the smaller ones. You wouldn't bang it into any trees or anything like that. You wouldn't have to worry about using a second piece that the musketeers had in Europe, which was a rest. They would actually have to lay the weapon down and set it on it because it was too heavy. But this is what they like down here. It's enough for one shot. So when you're ready to fire, pop the cap open, use your thumb, just dab a little bit down there into the pan. Bring it down, reach into your little pouch here, pull out your musket ball. Now, if you were a veteran and you knew what you were doing, you had fought in the Netherlands, like the sergeant here, and you kind of had some experience with it, you packed your mouth full of musket balls. And instead of reaching down here and wasting that half a second, you just spit it down in there. And so the musket ball, along with the rest of the powder from the cartridge carrier here, goes down into the barrel. And again, this is brought forth and it's packed down. Now, also around this time period, they started using paper cartridges, where everything was contained all in it. The musket ball, all the powder, and tear it open, just like from here to the Civil War. And they would just dab a little bit in the pan, and then everything else, including the paper, would go down into the barrel. Not so much here in Virginia, just because it's hard to find books around here. And there's only about 1,000 Englishmen total. So, for the most part, this is what they use. Now, if you guys like, we could actually go ahead and shoot it off for you. Okay. We need to get some attention around here and wake everybody up a little bit.
Where do you get the match to get lit now in 1611? Fire. It's backwards. Let's see.
You can see I have a burning piece of match here. Typically, if you would have been fighting, especially here in Virginia or in Europe, you'd have both ends burning. Just because when you depress it into the pan here and it goes off, it can actually blow it out. It's pretty rare, but it can do it. We just do this for economy. But what I'm going to do is I'll use the paper cartridge here. This is pretty much what they would look like. Musket balls down here, and the rest is powder. Just tear it open. I'll pour a little bit in the pan. I'll be facing towards that, see the red dot on the post? That's about 30 paces. That's about the average. If you would have been a musketeer at this time, you would have had to hit about half your shots right inside that little circle.
You're actually going to shoot them, that's musket ball?
No. It's just powder. The boaters don't like it. So what I'll do is, after the pan is loaded and it's locked, I'll put everything else down into the barrel, including the powder and the paper. And I'll draw forth my scouring stick, shorten it, and these are all the commands they would have been given. Draw forth your stick, shorten it, charge, return your scouring stick, shorten it again. Now one important point to watch is now that it's loaded, I don't want my hand over here. So, load it with your pinky. And I can see I have a little bit of grime down in here, so I might need to clean this thing out before it shoots. Did this get cleaned yesterday?
So,
Okay.
has it been, put the charge down already?
No. It's just grinding.
Okay. I would just, I would blow down the barrel and see if the touch hole's cool.
Okay. I think I got a couple of more.
Throw the stick down a couple times, it gets out.
You'll see a big puff come out here and hopefully a bigger one come out the other end, okay? Anybody have any questions? Okay. Mactch! Present your piece. Give 5.
Because I don't know where my Indian friends are in the woods over there. I'm demonstrating, not really killing. So what I want to do is I'm going to substitute lead with paper. And this will keep it all together and do pretty well. So paper goes in, just like the bullet. Take my scouring stick, push that in. Take it back out, put it down, bring it up, and the command was? Target match, present your piece, give fire. Here we go. Target match! Present your case! Give fire! The men in this time that actually do pick out individual targets are specifically called sharpshooters. And those men might not even have a sight, some do. The German and the Dutch gunsmiths in Europe are the best. And they're not only getting sights on there because they're developing grooves and rifles. And that's starting to come around, but it's very expensive. What makes a musket is that it's a military purpose. They're cheap to make, they're smooth bore, gunsmiths can turn them out pretty quick. And they're faster to load than a rifled bore. So it's all about speed on the 17th century battlefield, not so much your own aim. Absolutely. And here in Virginia, they're going to apply that knowledge. When Sir Thomas Dale comes here, and the officer that I trained to be under, which is Governor Gates, these are men that are infantry officers with 20 years experience fighting Spaniards. So if you fought the Spaniards, you fought the best army.